Hello, hi, good evening. I was watching a video explaining how Dennis Reynolds manipulates everyone and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And we got to the point, or the part of the video where he's explaining his manipulation in dating, and I wanted to react to it because it's very apt in the modern day and today. And recently, I'm not, I'll tell the truth. I got slighted in dating, like trying to be myself and and talk to a girl and I got her number and tried to ask her out and things are going south. And so it's like if I done these tricks and manipulation and dating like almost to a T, would things would be different, I feel like maybe. But I don't know. Let's react to it and you'll see what I mean.
But none of this is unusual for Dennis. It's his MO, it's what he does.
You need years of practice to even sniff my talent for manipulation.
And although you'd think after treating the waitress so badly that she'd want nothing to do with him, later on in the series, when he wants to get a job in the bar she manages, he successfully flirts with her to get what he wants, trusting that despite what he's done, she still wants to please him. But why? Well, unfortunately, Dennis has perfected a system that allows him to emotionally manipulate women in such a way that no matter how bad.
And at this part, he explains the Dennis system. Okay, like this is a whole episode, and it's great. It works every time.
Stands for demonstrate value, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We all communicate our values without even thinking about it. What's messed up is that Dennis doesn't have any values, so he has to make them.
And that first part, it's step one in dating, right? You have to appeal attractive to the other person, demonstrate value, whether that's you're a good conversationalist, whether that's I have money, right? Whether that's whatever, right? You just have to make her like you, basically, which a lot of times it comes down to money, right? Or it really comes down to meat, I guess. Money, attention, your energy, and your time. Like, doing things for her, showing you can demonstrate value, right? Just you can fix things. There's all types of stuff, really. But Dennis doesn't have any. That's the joke. That's why Always Sunny is so funny.
Up. Whether it's filling a prescription for his fake grandmother, pretending to know a dead man so he can tell stories about him to his granddaughter, or bringing a leash to a group date to pretend he has a rescue waiting out.
That's one I want to steal. Like if I'm gonna like if we're gonna be successful in dating, right? Men in 2025, right? Adult men. I'm past 25 now. If we're gonna be successful in dating, we're probably gonna have to start manipulating because women want unrealistic things. Even when you give them what they want, then they change what they want. It's like they don't really know what they want anyway. So it's like just manipulate. Really, and that's what they want you to do. If you ask them, they would prefer you lie to them. It's sad and pathetic.
Outside. All of these deceptions paint a picture of a man who cares for other people, who's trustworthy, safe, and kind. The E stands for engage physically, which is a normal aspect of forming a romantic connection. But again, Dennis has to twist the situation to his advantage. It goes like this.
That's OD. And before I'm relating the Dennis system to what I did. I wanted to rewatch Always Sunny recently, but I've already asked this girl out beforehand, right? And so like I'm like, all right, did I do that? And like demonstrate value. I think I've done that, I guess. Like I showed I was a conversationalist. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I guess enough. But it's like, what can you do? It's a tough one. I kind of just waited till I saw there were like genuine choosing signs. I made her laugh like multiple times. Um, I don't know. I, I proved we had similar interests, I guess. And then I did break the touch barrier before I asked for a number. So technically. Oh, I don't know.
this, he gives the appearance of knowing an exclusive restaurant that doesn't take bookings. And then when they go there to eat, oh no, it's closed, as he knows it's always closed on Sundays. This allows him to offer up a cheaper option, like grabbing a pizza and going to his apartment. Now, if he had proposed this up front, she probably would have said no, let's meet someone.
And who fault is that? See, it's not men's fault that they would accept a pizza at your place as a date, but if you propose that up front, she would have said no. Whose fault is that? You know what I'm saying? Whose fault is it that she had to be manipulated to be in a situation that she 100% would have been in anyway?
Public. But because she's already made time specifically for this date, she's more likely to say yes, as it feels like it's happening naturally. Once she's in his home, Mac is meant to pretend he's too scared to go in his room.
And that's the key word too. It feels like it's happening naturally because that's the only thing that matters to women is the feeling. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. So just manipulate them because they only care about the feeling. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. And I think I guess I disagree with that fundamentally, which is why I can't do it.
As he saw a spider. So if they want to be alone, they'll have to watch a movie in Dennis's room, where he can easily make the move. So he's manufactured a situation where he doesn't need to progress through all of the trustworthy steps to get her to agree to come back to his bedroom. Instead, he's just starting at the finish line. Now that she's physically attached to him, he progresses to N, nurture dependency, which is where things go from sleazy to sociopathic. Any normal
And this is where I honestly bow out and I take my L's, right? Because I don't know. I look, you saw all of the effing steps. Just just look. Did you not see
dependency.
all of the effing
Now that she's
steps?
physically attached, instead he's just all of the trustworthy steps to get her to agree to come back to his.
Look, did you see? And I don't even want, because I don't believe in sex until marriage. Everybody laughs at me for that, but like, I stand by it. I don't do it. I haven't done it. It. I can't say that last part, I guess. But have done it, and I do it now today. And everybody in my life can attest to that. Any woman I meet can attest to that. But like, look at all of the effing steps, and you're not even dating yet. Look at that. It's like, why are these steps here? You're not even dating yet. Then when you start dating, there's gonna be a lot more steps. So it's like if you're having sex this early anyway, it can't work because I don't. You're adding the the finish line. You you already crossed it, and then you want to jump through a bunch of steps, right? But you already made him jump through a bunch of steps. So at this point, now you're just dicking around. You're just fucking everybody. You're just wasting people's time. But it's like, look at this, man. It's so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. Which is why it's not working. It's why marriage rates are down. It's why divorce rates are up.
His bedroom. Instead, he's just starting at the finish line. Now that she's physically attached to him, he progresses to N, nurture dependency, which is where things go from sleazy to sociopathic. Any normal relationship involves a degree of dependency, forming a connection that bonds you to the other person. But Dennis doesn't know how to do that authentically, so instead he'll slash her tires so she depends on him for rides, or make threatening phone calls to her from a payphone so that she's so scared that she needs him to come over to feel safe in her own home. So you see, he twists his victim's perception of the world to make their life harder, just so he can make it better as the knight in shining armor, before he then
That's fucked. But also, I'm thinking, look, when you get to that stage in a relationship, right, where, from what I've heard, it's like things get boring and the woman starts developing chaos. Yeah, right? She starts nagging you about every little thing. She starts bringing up problems that aren't really problems. You could solve that. You could solve that. by creating the drama in her life for her by like calling her from a payphone and threatening her. That's the only thing she's gonna be occupied with. She's not gonna be able to nitpick you about some bullshit. She's gonna be on her phone with her girlfriends, crying about shit. She's gonna be crying to you about shit while you playing video games.
Then disappears, which leads us to the next N, neglect emotionally. After making himself the most important person in her life, he vanishes, leaving behind a huge emotional hole that he used to fill. He won't answer calls, he'll cancel plans, leaving them to wonder what went wrong and begin to question their self-worth, before unexpectedly showing up in their life again for I.
Okay, but that's also like that that's also like, keeping her on her toes. The heart grows fond for what it can't have type of stuff. And women like the roller coaster. They like going up and down emotionally anyway. So it's like, to tell you the truth, you're supposed to, like a healthy woman, treat her right. You're supposed to neglect her a little bit, right? Obviously, you don't leave her. Obviously, you keep feeding her. But, but like, yeah, I think that's actually healthy for a relationship from what I've learned and understood. And then
Inspire
you
Hope,
inspire hope.
where he now explains his absence and gives them a comforting narrative to live in, that he only ran away because he was scared of getting hurt as they were getting too close, but now he realizes he loves them and needs them and wants to be with them. Essentially mirroring the final act of a romance movie, where the avoidant character overcomes their fears and fights for love, leading to
Exactly. Yeah. It's because women want to live in fantasy world anyway, so you make the movie for them. It makes sense to me. If you actually want to keep a woman, I wouldn't be surprised if the most successful relationships, men think like this. But they just don't separate entirely. They just repeat, right? They just go back to, usually you're probably showing your value every day. You probably engage physically naturally, but like, yeah, you just loop the ends basically over and over. And then you get out with I, you loop the ends, and you create this real life movie for her of an emotional roller coaster going up and down. I'm working on the LCU video, so I should get back to finding clips for that and editing that. I recorded it. The audio is pretty shitty. Like the script is pretty shitty, but it is recorded. Shout out to Justin Observer on YouTube. I like this video. I'm gonna finish this. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. D Dog sucks. I hate D Dog. Hashtag Thor perverse.